We are so excited that you're back with us for another episode of Meet My Mississippi Authors and Artists on the Hill Country Network. We have so many wonderful artists and authors in the Hill Country up here, and we are all over the state. Today I have another treat for you, and he's, like I say, I always let them introduce themselves, just like we're talking one-on-one to you all. So tell us who you are and where you're from.
I'm Terry Swindol. I'm from Tupelo, Mississippi.
Okay.
And I'm honored to be here. I appreciate you asking me. I've seen some of your shows, and some of the authors that sit here, I feel unworthy to be here.
Oh, definitely worthy. Yes, we do. We do, and you're one of them. So, hey, we have a wonderful lineup. Now, I always start off with how I know somebody. Now, I started knowing you. I've been knowing you a long time. I knew you through the Tupelo school system as a band director. Now, tell us, first of all, where you went to school, where you grew up. We're going to go back and then come back and forth. So, where you went to school, high school, graduated, went to college, all that first.
Well, I'm a homeboy. I was raised right here in Tupelo. Grew up in West Point, actually, and my father was with the TVA.
My parents are from West Point.
I love West Point. And we transferred, my father was transferred to Tupelo, and so I finished high school here in Tupelo, then went to Mississippi State University.
What year did you graduate from Tupelo High School?
1966.
Okay.
In the dark ages. All right. Then went to Mississippi State and performed in the famous Maroon Band. I was a musician and had been in the Lions All-State Band in high school.
Wonderful.
So after college, I went into teaching. Band director at Lawhorn Junior High.
Yes, I was going to ask you. That's
brother.
Exactly. That's where I know you from being the band director at Lawhorn. Yes.
And your brother was quite a character.
Okay.
He played drums
Yes.
for me, and I enjoyed him. And then we went on to. I went to Shannon High School.
Okay.
I was at Lawhorn from 1970 to 80.
Okay.
Then I went to Shannon High School from 1980 to 95.
Okay.
And retired there.
Okay.
I had 26 years experience. And if you add that up, I had an extra year because of the accumulated days. So that.
Now, what makes a person want to be a band director? People, this is not an easy job. Teaching is a hard job, but being a band director it's on another level.
I wonder myself.
It's something else. I'm telling you.
No, I
is
enjoyed it. I have some treasured memories.
Oh, I'm sure.
I really do.
I'm sure.
And wonderful students. I still run into some of
Yes.
them today, and they think I'm supposed to remember them. They
Right.
don't look like they did when I taught
I'm
them.
telling
I
you,
remember
we
them
don't.
when they tell me
Right,
I know them.
right.
But they, I enjoyed those years.
Okay.
And it was a lot of work.
Yes.
There was a lot of hot days on the football
Yes,
field.
it's a
getting
lot
ready
of
for
work that
halftime.
goes into band and band directing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now we're going to get to you being an author. When did you decide to start doing these books and compiling these pictures? And because most of your books that you're doing are about people that you've met and famous people and things, and so you tell us about it. How did this journey start with compiling these books?
Well, I'm a late bloomer.
Me too.
I started writing late in my life.
Me too. After 40 I did.
Well, I was after later than that. But anyway, I started first. I was in videography. I got, after finished, retired from teaching. I've always loved the cameras and movies, and I feel more comfortable on that side of the camera. I was saying earlier. But I got into videography. I produced 10 documentaries.
Oh my goodness.
I did one on the tornado of Tupelo, one on Paul Rainey.
Okay, yes. Okay.
And did some on the World War II veterans I interviewed. Did a couple.
Are all of those on YouTube? Can we go on YouTube and see those?
No, but you can order them from me.
Oh, okay, great.
As you can my books.
Okay.
I'll give the information later on that. But I did these 10 documentaries, and then I decided, I've always wanted to write a book, and I just was always lazy. I said it'll take too long. But I finally decided history's got to be preserved. That's
Absolutely.
my thing, and I know we
Absolutely.
have that in common.
Absolutely.
And I I have a saying. I did this quote in one of my books. When an older person dies, a library burns.
Absolutely. I put that on Facebook a lot of times. All that information that they have stored inside.
There's so many things we don't tell.
So true. And my dad is 87 years old, and I'm so used to learning from him and learning from him. And I'm talking about every day I learn something new from him. And I'm like, you didn't tell me that before. And it's just like, so that's what documentaries are really good for, because you get a lot of people and information and just ask them questions that they wouldn't just normally tell you about. Okay, so.
I was, my grandfather, I love history, I love stories, especially in entertainment. My grandfather saw Buffalo Bill.
Okay. The real Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bill. Well, I thought that was something. He'd tell about that when I was a kid. And all I know about it, I wish I'd asked more questions.
See, exactly.
I know he saw him shooting clay pigeons.
Y'all need to ask your parents and grandparents questions, even if you have to put down a whole list of stuff, because I started asking my father just questions. Do that.
Yeah. So I would like to know now, well, what was he wearing?
Exactly. What was he like in his hair? Right. Personality? Yes.
And I wish I'd asked all that.
Oh, I know.
And my father was a World War II veteran. He was in the Navy. And found out when he was in San Diego in his training, he saw the Andrews sisters.
Oh my goodness! My goodness!
Red Skelton.
Oh my goodness!
And that's a funny story. It's in my book.
Okay.
And it's of how he met Red Skelton and went to his show and all these wonderful stories. And so all these things need to be preserved. And some of my family members have said some of my father's, some of my cousins and all this. Gosh, I didn't know Papa
knew all that. Right.
I didn't know he met Red Skelton. I didn't know about this.
Exactly.
So it needs to be preserved.
Absolutely. So the first book was which one that you started with?
Olin Francis.
Okay. The Life and Time of Olin Francis. Now tell us a little bit about.
Nobody out there has probably heard of Olin Francis.
Okay.
But he was very well known at one time. He was born and raised in Tupelo.
Oh my goodness.
He went to, he was...
From the streets of Tupelo to the streets of Hollywood. Okay. Now tell us a little bit.
He got into aviation.
Okay.
He was one of the first to fly a plane in Tupelo. He flew in World War I.
Oh, okay. I've heard of him. Yes.
He went on to do barnstorming after the war. That's where he went around and flew planes and did the tricks and took people up for rides. And fell into movies.
Okay.
And was in 145 movies. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Now, some of them he didn't even have a line. He was standing in the background.
Because he was kind of handsome, but
yeah, he was a handsome guy.
Oh my goodness.
And then he wound up playing villains in westerns. He beat up John Wayne. He was in a lot of movies. Okay,
what's the time period of this man? He
worked in films from 1921 to 1941.
Okay.
And all of the pictures in this book pretty much came from his collection.
Oh my goodness, you all. Oh my goodness, y'all need this book.
And he died
in 1952. Y'all look. Yeah. Oh my goodness, Tupelo man in the Hollywood in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. Okay, wait a minute, I'm getting chilled. Okay, how much is this book?
That book is $12.
Okay, wow, we're gonna have to get this book. I love that. Okay, now the next book was what?
And the next one there is called The Stars I've Met.
Yes, now you were that's when I was listening to you talking. I said, oh, that's amazing.
Working as videographer, I filmed for the Memphis Film Festival all of the panels. We bring in the old stars. It's a nostalgia festival. And I've met so many stars like that I've interviewed on the panels. Funny things have happened. I tell about them in my book. Just little things trivial things that.
And tell us some of the stars that you've met that just really, so many, because I was like, he's met all these people. I was just like totally amazed. Yeah. Jennifer Holt. Now who? Jennifer Holt?
Jennifer Holt was a sister of Tim Holt, famous cowboy star, and she was in a lot of westerns. Ray Romano.
And he has all these pictures.
Now, so they weren't all at Memphis Film Festival. I met them other places too, but
Eddie Hodges. Just all kinds.
Eddie Hodges is from Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Okay, you know, Glenn.
And one of them talking about the little things. John Hart, for instance, signed an autograph for me once, and he said he played the Lone Ranger one season.
Right, I just flipped through that.
I said, he asked me my name. I said, Terry Swindol. He said, what was that last name? I said, Swindle. And he said, my gosh, you're not in business, are you?
Right? Oh, look, y'all. He has pictures of these people who have signed his, to him, pictures to him. Right. Donna Douglas, okay, Beverly Hillbillies. Oh, my goodness. Who doesn't love Ellie Mae? Oh, my goodness. Eddie Jean, oh my goodness, look at all these people, and all of these pictures are signed to Hi Terry or to Terry. Oh my goodness.
I've had some wonderful experiences with them. And
who is your most favorite one? They have this like Woman Question Wednesday or whatever. Who was the one that made you just go, oh my goodness, I'll meet this person?
There were so many, it's hard to single out one because so many of them were special.
Right. Marion Schilling. Look at all these old time Hollywood people.
And my son's pictures through there, 'cause he helped me. He grew up going to these film festivals, and they would send him, these stars would send him toys and gifts through the years. And
oh my goodness.
Carolina Cotton was very special. She used to yodel, and she sang with Bob Wills and was in a lot of westerns with Gene Autry and Charles Starrett. And I used to call Carolina quite often. We'd talk for an hour.
Oh my goodness. Picture of him with Delta Burke and Gerald McRaney. I love Delta Burke. Okay.
Wonderful lady.
Oh my, Debbie Allen, Marianne Mobley. Okay, and Gary Collins. All these people. Oh my goodness. So you're still filming for the film festival?
I still film for the festival. This past year we had Angie Dickinson. We had Buck Taylor, who's the last survivor. You may not know the name, but he played on Gunsmoke.
Right, yes.
About the last one.
And see, these names come to my mind because my daddy is just every Western, he's watching them every day. I'm like, you watching another? Audie Murphy, whatever, he's watching.
Audie Murphy, great. He was World War II hero.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Most decorated,
so they have certain stars that just come through there every year.
Every year. And we have a blast. Get to know them. Some come more than 1 year, so you get to know them.
Now the Tupelo Film Festival, what time of year is it every year? It's like the second week?
This is the Memphis Film Festival.
Oh, Memphis. I'm sorry. I'm getting too...
That's all right.
Okay, Memphis.
We have it in June.
Okay.
Usually around the first part of June.
Okay.
And they have a page on Facebook, the Memphis Film Festival. If you'll look them up, you can find who all's coming.
Okay.
And they give the updates on it. And
wonderful.
We have a great time.
It sounds like it. Oh my goodness.
And I have a relationship with a lot of these stars. I walked in Roberta Shore, who used to play on the Virginian. She was a regular on there.
I know that show too.
She was sitting there at a table, and I walked in, and she started doing her hand. She said, "The cameraman's here.
Oh
We're
my
going to get filmed today."
That's wonderful.
So she said, "You be sure to do good." So remember, lighting is what it's all about, and they just pick at me about that.
I am so glad you wrote this book. Really, I was so enthralled when you started talking about this book, and I was like, wow, he has met all of these people. And see, nobody would ever just sit down and ask you, have you met so-and-so? Have you met so-and-so? You know what I mean? Your family would never have known all the people that you talk to and the different things that have happened. And
we'll have to do a volume 2 on that.
Definitely. Keep it going. Okay. The story of Dorothy Dell from beauty contest to Hollywood. Okay.
Dorothy Dell is another one that's been forgotten. She was from Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
Okay.
And she only did 3 films. Tragic story of Dorothy Dell. She was really on the rise, and things were looking good for her. At the age of 20, she was killed in a car wreck.
Oh my goodness!
And the last film she did was with Shirley Temple, Little Miss Marker, and she had the lead.
And she kind of looks like Jean Harlow in a little bit.
And they would compare her a lot to Alice Faye.
Oh, okay.
She was going to be a lot like her.
Okay.
But it's sad. She had a relationship with. She dated Jack Dempsey, the heavyweight champion of the world. She was also involved with Russ Columbo, a famous singer, that day, and she really was on the rise.
And she was from where? Hattiesburg, you said?
Hattiesburg. Moved to New Orleans and met a young lady in high school. They got very close, and that lady turned out to be Dorothy Lamour.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Dorothy Lamour always said she owed so much to Dorothy Dell. These people would have been forgotten, and that's why I wrote the book.
Absolutely, and a Mississippian. Now, see, that's a person I didn't know that I haven't put on my page yet. Now, see, you've taught me something, because you know, any Mississippi person, I try to let people know about, you know, all the Mississippi people. So, when did she start acting? Because you said she died in a car wreck at 20?
1933 and 34.
And so, what, she was like 17 or 18 or something?
Well, she was actually, her niece gave me this information that everywhere you see a publication on her, they'll say she was 19 when she died. They had her birth date wrong. Okay. Her niece told me that. And she said that she was actually born a year earlier than what they did. So she was 20. You'll always see it says 19. Okay. But she was, and she loved Mississippi. That's what I like about these people, that they continue to lift up Mississippi after they've gotten famous. She liked to have, she didn't like the wild parties they had in Hollywood. She had what she called tacky parties, Mississippi tacky parties is what she called it. And she invited these movie stars to her home, and she said, you come tacky. Come barefoot. Come anywhere you want to
bring that country life back.
And so she would have them, these tacky parties, and then she said one thing she missed in Mississippi were the late night coon hunts. So she was the only actress to have a coon hunt in
Mississippi
Hollywood.
Is always in you. I'm telling you, just like my poem, if Mississippi is in you, it'll always be that way. And no matter where you go, where you stay. So definitely. Oh, this is wonderful. Y'all need these books. Now, how much is this one?
That book's only $8. And the other one, Stars I've Met, is $25. And you can order these directly from me if you like. I don't have a website, unfortunately, but my email is Swindol, SSWINDOL, @bellsouth.net. Or my address, I can.
Or find him on Facebook. He's on Facebook. Friend him, or just send him a message or whatever. And you are with the Northeast Mississippi Historical Society. And when do you all meet each month? It's like,
well, it's usually the fourth Thursday of the month at noon. And so that's.
And I have been to several of their meetings, and I've done a presentation at a couple of their meetings, and y'all need to really go to those, because you can learn a lot in those meetings. The presentations that you give, each person, each time there's some member might give a presentation, or you might have an outside person, right? And you all help people find their lineage, like help people with
the people that are trying to find their genealogy. Contact us sometimes, and we help with that where we can. A lot of our members, the older members that used to be so good at that, have passed on. Unfortunately, we had some people that were really good at helping folks with that from all over the country. But it's and you know, speaking of that, Patricia, you came and did a presentation. I want to take this opportunity. I appreciate you and what you do to you. Like I've always said, you emphasize the positive.
Absolutely, I always promoting a positive Mississippi.
I like that.
Thank you. There is so much positive. That's the whole thing about it. Everybody wants to hear the negative, and there is a lot of negative. Any place, any person is going to have some negative. Nobody wants to talk about the flip side of the coin. And That's what I want to talk about, the positive things.
Right.
And people try to talk you out of it all the time. What about this or what about this? I'm like, okay, I'm talking about the positives.
Right.
So tell us, what is the importance of saving these kind of pictures and this history again, just to let the people know that, you know, preserving your own personal stories. A lot of people don't think that their own personal stories or the things that they've done or seen are that important, and they really, really are.
It's just like when I was doing the research from Olin Francis, and I contacted people here in Tupelo that, and they've passed on now, these people that helped me. And I would say, oh, they'd say, I knew him, but I can't help you much. I don't remember much about it. And I would keep after them. Don't give up on that.
Exactly.
I would keep after them, and in a minute they'd say, now, I remember he had a sister named so-and-so and another sister named, and there was plenty of that. Exactly. What I needed.
Exactly.
And then they'd find, and I found one of those sisters that way.
Okay.
And, so they would, if you'll just stay after them. So it's important we keep this alive, keep history alive.
And just in your family, you don't know how much history you have in your family, because your family is connected to the community, and then to a church, and then to this, and then it just blossoms out into that.
That's right.
You know, who was in the Tupelo tornado, or who was this, or who was that. You are a part of history, your own self, just you. Okay. So now let us tell again these books, and I want you to talk about the name of your documentary so they'll know, and that they can contact you about because I might need to be trying to get some of those. The Life and Times of Olin Francis, okay, and he was from where now?
He was from Tupelo.
Okay, wonderful. And Stars I Met, what they were really like. I love that because he has all these wonderful pictures, okay. The Story of Dorothy Dell, From Beauty Contest to Hollywood by Terry Swindol. Okay, and she was from Hattiesburg. Love that, love that. Okay, now tell us the name of your documentary. Some of them or all of that, if you know.
I did Paul Rainey. I don't remember the exact title. I think it was The Life and Times of Paul Rainey. And I did the tornado of Tupelo, Mississippi. I've done, my favorite movie was Raintree County. I don't know if you're familiar with the movie. Elizabeth Taylor.
Yes.
Cliff. It was filmed in Kentucky. That may be my next book.
Okay, and they did some of that filming in the ruins of Windsor. They did some,
exactly.
Windsor,
And they filmed so much in Kentucky. Well, I went to Kentucky. I did 3 documentaries on that one movie.
Okay, and it's very historic when you go into all the details of the movie.
And I met the local people. Elizabeth Taylor stand-in still lives there.
Oh my goodness, really? Oh my goodness.
Like her.
Oh my goodness.
Kernan.
Oh my goodness, really?
Her name's Elizabeth.
You need to post a picture on Facebook so I can share that, because I'm always sharing the pictures of them walking down the ruined steps.
And
her outside fanning and when they're fanning their poor gifts, and she's got her dress all out like this, and she's like fanning. Oh my goodness. Yes.
And then Montgomery Cliff stand-in.
Oh my goodness,
Shelton
really?
Still lives there in Danville, and not in Danville. I think he's in Louisville.
Okay.
And then Virginia Bauman, who was Eva Marie Saint stand-in.
Okay.
All 3 of them, and I'm the only guy. I took the 3 of those stand-ins to supper one night and just turned on the camera, and we had a conversation.
Oh my goodness.
They told all the stories of how Montgomery Cliff streaked down a street. He ran down naked down the street.
They say he was a character.
Yeah. And how Lee Marvin broke a table, the coffee table there in Danville. It still sits in a home of somebody that won't sell it because he broke it.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And wonderful stories. These are just priceless. So I've got some of those on the documentaries.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now tell us again your email so that they can contact you, because y'all want to get some of this stuff. This is some real history here.
Swindol, SWINDOL, at bellsouth.net.
Wonderful.
And you can...
What do you want people to remember about you and your work and what you're putting out there as far as these pictures and books and things?
That I love history. And I want people to remember it. and that's what, and people in my family especially. My son, as I mentioned, is Tommy, who's now pastor in Nashville. He's all through this book.
Okay.
And you know, because he helps me film some
at
the festivals today. And he grew up, as I said, the stars are holding him there. I dedicated that book to my 2 granddaughters.
Okay.
Claire and Emily.
You see how he lit up when he said my 2 granddaughters?
Right.
I love that. Yes. I love that. That's
right.
Beautiful. And that's going to be your legacy to them of, you know, the things that you used to do and the things that you enjoyed and the things that you like. It brings it to life.
That's right.
That this is what my papa, what do they call you? What's the name? There's so many of them. Grandpa. This is what he loved to do, and this is what he was so interested in, and they might start it themselves. See there, y'all, you didn't know any of these stars that were from Mississippi. I'm telling you, and we have a man here who has met all of these stars, and you have to get this book. If you don't get but anyone, you need to get this. What is this one? Stars I Have Met. I'm telling you, this book is awesome. Oh my goodness. But check him out. Stop by the Northeast Mississippi Historical Society sometime and see their group or whatever, and go to the Memphis Film Festival, and you better come back to watch Meet My Mississippi Authors and Artists on the Hill Country Network, because we got some great guests for you. Bye.